Welcome to the Roadmap to 1 Million podcast. I'm your host, Stacey Zeal, and if you're looking for the high-level strategies and stories behind building a seven-figure product brand, then you're in the right place. On this show, we'll uncover the advanced strategies, stories, and secrets that you need to know in order to take your e-commerce brand to the next level. Are you ready to uncover your roadmap to 1 million? Let's dive in. If you are finding that you are the bottleneck in your marketing, in your business or your marketing, it's just not your thing, then you definitely want to make sure you tune into this live, because I am going to give you all the information about what a fractional CMO is, when to hire one, what are some things that they can do for your business, and specifically talk to you about my fractional CMO services that I offer for clients, where they can get my attention on their business, my eyeballs, my brain, my expertise, my team, all on their eyes on their business to help them to get to the next level. And so before I jump into that, let me say hello. Hi, my name is Stacey, and tell you a little bit about me. So who am I? My name is Stacey, and I am a fractional CMO. I am a fractional CMO for e-commerce brands that are really ready to take their business to the next level. They have hit that minimum of 100K multi-six-figure business, and they are like, now I'm ready to scale. Now I'm ready to go to 1 million. I'm ready to go from 1 million to multi-millions. And they come to me because I bring in the expertise. I'm a Facebook ads expert. I've generated over $150 million leading paid social efforts for brands like Zappos, Crocs, Nike, Adidas, all of these different very large brands. I've been in marketing for 11 years. I have worked with brands starting out with just myself in the marketing team and a bunch of service providers, all the way up to working on teams that were actually doing big things, spending millions and millions of dollars and generating multi-hundreds of millions of dollars. And so I've worked on teams big and small. And so what is a fractional CMO? So I've been getting this question a lot. I tell people like, yeah, I'm a fractional CMO. And I sometimes get people saying, well, what is that? Or some people are saying like, oh, I got to Google that really quick. So I wanted to give you a little bit of information about it. So a fractional CMO, which it stands for Chief Marketing Officer. And so essentially a fractional CMO is like a part-time marketing officer. So it's a part-time executive leader on your team, someone who is able to really focus on what is the business, what are the business goals, what is the vision of the business, what does the marketing look like, what are the strategies that need to be put in place. They actually come in and work with your team and to train your team up and to help them to get to the next level. So if you think about a fractional CMO is someone who solves big problems. So keep that in mind. They're solving big problems. And I'm going to give you a couple examples of some big problems in a second. But if you think about like solving big problems in your business, think about the biggest problems you have in your business. Think about, your team and how they could use expert guidance or expert strategy, right? Or you can all think about the strategies that you have in your business. If you're doing a lot of marketing and you're seeing that I'm doing a lot of marketing, but nothing is actually moving my business forward, or I can't track the ROI from my marketing efforts to the actual outputs that I'm putting in, that means that you have some big problems in your business and you need someone like a fractional chief marketing officer or a part-time chief marketing officer to be able to come in and help your team to get unstuck and get to that next level. And so some examples of big problems versus small problems so that you can start to get thinking about what a fractional CMO can really do for you. So an example of a big problem would be customer acquisition. So customer acquisition is a huge problem within e-commerce space, especially because things are always changing. There are so many different platforms out there that pop up. There's so many different things that you could be doing in your marketing to actually acquire customers. And all of those things, that is a big problem that you need to solve. Customer acquisition is a big problem. A small problem is, what are we posting on Instagram today? Right? You have someone on your team who's an expert at figuring out how to make trending reels, how to, when to post on Instagram for the most effective, to get the most effective reach, right? Those are smaller problems. Those are important problems. It's not to say that they are not important, but they're not a big, large problem that you would need a fractional CMO to come in and solve, right? Like customer acquisition. Another big problem would be retention or like customer loyalty. So if you find that you're churning through customers, that you're not getting a lot of people that are repeat buyers, that is a problem for your business. As an e-commerce brand, you need to be getting at least 20 or more % of your customers to be repeat customers. And you should be focusing on increasing that and figuring out what are some programs, what are some things that I can do, what are some things marketing wise that you can put into place that would actually help to improve your customer loyalty and your customer retention, right? So like creating it, for example, like having someone to create a loyalty program for you, but also figuring out like it's not just about creating the loyalty program. It's about making sure that your customers are surveyed so that everything that's in there is what your customers want. It's making sure it's positioned right. It's figuring out how we're going to market and get people enrolled into this. What channels, what levers can we pull? What is the budget for this, right? Those are big problems. Customer loyalty, customer retention is a big problem. A small problem is what do we put? What is their emails? What email subject lines should we use today, or what how often should we send emails? Right? Should we be sending emails 2 or 3 times a week? That's a small problem that someone on your team that is in charge of making emails go out or getting emails out can solve. It's not a problem that you need to bring in a fractional CMO to actually solve. Hey, are you doing all the things when you'd rather be CEOing? What if instead of doing all the things like figuring out the marketing strategy and leading the team, you could free up your time to focus on other areas of your business that really need your attention? That's possible when you work with my team at Stacey Zeal & Co. We are strategic marketing partners for e-commerce brands that want to take their sales and impact to the next level. Ready to stop playing small and do what it takes to become a big-ass impactful brand? Head over to roadmap1million.com to book a call with me. Don't wait. Now. Right now is your time. Head over to roadmap1million.com to book a call with me. I look forward to helping you get to your next level. Another example, budgeting or tracking ROI. As I mentioned, like, are the marketing outputs that you're actually doing actually resulting to an ROI? So can you say that, if you are on TikTok, right? Like if you're saying like, oh, well, we're posting on TikTok all the time and we have 1 million followers on TikTok. But as a fractional CMO, if I can come in and say, you're not getting any sales from TikTok and you're spending a lot of money and a lot of time, you're spending, your team's time and you're spending money on TikTok when you're not actually getting an ROI from it, right? You're actually, you're doing all these lives, but you're not making money from these lives that you're doing, right? So being able to say like, where is our money going? Where is our efforts going? And being able to track that back to an ROI. That is a big problem. That is a problem that a fractional CMO has to solve. A small problem would be like, which influencers are we going to use for this campaign, right? Like that's a problem that someone on your team who is an executor can solve to figure out like, whose profile, how do I go through these different profiles and figure out who's the best person for this campaign, right? That is a problem that someone on your team that is a small problem that someone on your team, an executor, can handle. But budgeting and tracking ROI, and how much are we spending on influencers, and how do we make sure that we can track all of the, our outputs from our influencers is a big problem. How do we create affiliate programs, and how do we keep our influencers engaged and actually posting things about us? That is a bigger problem that you need someone who with the expertise and the strategy to come in and solve. And then a last example I'll give you is like hiring the right team or filling the holes on your team and being able to see like, what marketing efforts are we actually using? Are we actually outputting that's bringing in actual dollars and cents? And then also, do we need someone on our team to help to facilitate that? Do we need a specialist, someone who is really, really hyper specialized in Facebook ads? Or do we need someone who's more of a generalist, right? Or do we need someone, how do we make sure that our team is actually growing and scaling and actually doing and actually has the support that they need to go to the next level, right? So those are big problems, right? So think about the big problems in your business. Think about the biggest problem. What is keeping you up at night? Those are the problems that you bring in a fractional CMO to solve, right? If cash flow is a problem, right, that's someone you bring in an expert to talk to figure out like, okay, let's analyze all of our marketing outputs and see like, where are we spending money? Where are we spending time? Is it actually bringing an ROI? If it's not, let's figure out how do we scale back? How do we cut that? Where do we reshift our money or reshift our focus? Like that is a big problem that you need to solve. Your team has all these other problems that they're solving, right? They're trying to figure out what's trending on Instagram, what's the trending audio, how do I create content, how do I hire which influencer do I need to hire? All that kind of stuff is things that people on your team are responsible for. When you think about a fractional CMO, they're the person that's solving the bigger problems in your organization. They're working with your team to solve big problems. And so when you think about when to hire a fractional CMO, or how do you know if you need one? So if you think about your team, think about you have a team of people you have a marketing team, or you have people on your team that are actually executing your marketing. That's the first thing you want to keep involved when thinking about hiring a fractional CMO. A fractional CMO is not someone who's going to come onto your team and post on your Instagram page, right? You need someone that's actually going to be posting on your Instagram page. You need to you get a contractor, you get to hire somebody on your team to actually do that, or you go with an agency or something that actually does have all that kind of stuff. But if you think about, your chief marketing officer, your fractional CMO, they're not going to be the ones that's actually executing the marketing. They're the ones who's analyzing the data, looking at what your team is doing, teaching them with best practices, making sure that, what is going out is on brand, and making sure that they have the systems and the support and the things in place to help make sure that things don't fall through the cracks, right? So if you're finding that things are falling through the cracks in your business, that's a big problem, right? Like if you're finding that things are getting posted on your page that are off brand, that are not actually, moving your brand forward, then that's a problem, right? That's a problem you want to solve. Other way to know when you're ready to hire a fractional CMO is you have consistent revenue every month and you're ready to scale. So a fractional CMO is going to come in to scale your business. When I come into my clients' businesses, they already have teams. They already are making money, right? And they're ready to figure out that, but they're stuck because they're doing a lot of marketing, they're doing a lot of stuff, but it's not actually translating to revenue and sales in their business. And so they need someone with an outside look to be able to come in and look at everything that they're doing and be able to figure out, like, how do I anchor everything to a strategy? How do we make sure that what we're doing is actually tracking to an ROI? How do we make sure that the money that we're bringing in consistently every month continues to grow incrementally, right? It grows over time. It grows consistently. And it's not something where, it's unpredictable every month. Right. So you want to make sure that you have consistent money coming in, because hiring a chief marketing officer is not cheap. It's going to be more expensive because you're hiring someone to essentially be a leader on your team so that you can actually take your time and dedicate it to other things. So you want to make sure that you have consistent revenue coming in, because that person is going to need that data to understand how they can take you to the next level. Okay. Another way for you to know is that you are at the center of your marketing and you're holding stuff up. If you have to approve all the captions, if your team is going through you to figure out what systems and software they need, but you're holding it up. If you are the bottleneck in your marketing, if you are keeping things from moving forward, that means that you need someone on your team to lead the marketing. Because I promise you, your business is not going to grow without marketing. Right? It's not going to grow without marketing. It's not going to go scale and hit that $1 million plus mark if you don't systematize what you're doing, if you don't have the right strategies in place, and if you don't have the right team members. You are not going to be able to take your business to that next level if you don't get out of the way. Right? You have to get out of the way of your team, let them do their thing, let them create, make sure that someone is guiding them and giving them the resources that they need and the support they need and the strategies that they need. But also make sure that you are not holding things up. And so that person can come in and put in systems and things in place to make it so that you're not holding things up. Right? Okay. And so also you have to think about your fractional CMO. Last thing about when to hire one is that you're committed to growth for the long term. And so typically when you're hiring a fractional CMO, when clients are hiring me, they're hiring me for a long-term engagement, right? They're hiring me to work with them for at least 9 months to a year to figure out, like, what are the levers that we can pull? How do we roadmap what we're doing? How do we prioritize what we're doing? And how do we look at where the big problems are, prioritize the big problems, make action plans to solve those kinds of things? So that takes time, right? It takes time. It takes testing. It takes, data, all that kind of stuff to really uncover what is the problem in your business, and then also make a plan to overcome it, and also try to do different things that will overcome it. And so it takes time to growth, and it takes a commitment from you as the CEO to that growth in the long term in order for you to bring in someone that actually will make some change in your business, right? Like a few months, 3 months is not enough to solve a big problem. Right? 3 months is not, if you're, looking for someone to just come in for like a month or two to help you to, kickstart your sales. That's not really how, a fractional CMO works. They come in for the long term, or at least when I work with my clients on a fractional CMO basis, I'm coming in for the long term. I'm coming in because you want my eyeballs on your business for the long term, and you want my commitment to actually growing your brand and working with your team. Right? And so it's a long-term commitment when you think about a fractional CMO. All right. So that is what a fractional CMO is. Again, it's a part-time chief marketing officer that handles the leadership and creates the strategies and implements systems and does fills the holes in your team and figure out how to build up your marketing so that it takes your business to the next level. And so I work with clients. I actually only am offering 2 more spots through the rest of the year for my fractional CMO services, because when I get into a business, I get very involved, I get very hands-on, and I am all in. Okay. And so what I'm looking to do is to take on 2 fractional CMO clients through the rest of the starting through the rest of the year. I'm not going to be taking on any more than 2 this year. So if you know that you want to make 2023 your best year, You want to make it so that you are investing in the right things, the right strategies, the right systems, and the right support that will take your business to the next level. You definitely want to make sure that you send me a DM. DM me the word CMO so we can talk about how I can help you to remove yourself from the center of your business, right? Because that's the problem. You are holding up your marketing, and whether it's a lack of expertise or it's a lot of times my clients, they don't even like marketing. Right? They don't love it like I do. So they want someone who actually loves it, knows it, who's been on a marketing team before, who knows how to scale a business to come in and take it off of their plate so that they can focus on business development and problems in the warehouse and product delays and all the other things that they need to focus on as a CEO. But they understand that the marketing is not something that you can slip on. So understand that as an online product brand, your marketing is essential to your next level. It's essential to your growth. And so if you are not in a place where you can actually lead the marketing team the way it is and hold that agency accountable to the KPIs that you set or that they set, right? And overseeing them and making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do, making sure that your team is doing the right stuff that moves your business forward. They're not just posting on Instagram and growing and following on TikTok just to say that we have 1 million followers on TikTok, but they're actually executing things that track back to ROI. And so I'm only taking on 2 more clients for the rest of the year for my fractional CMO services. So definitely DM me the word CMO if you want to talk about how I can help you to get my eyeballs on your business for the long term, to really figure out how I can come in and help you and your team to get to the next level. So hope that was helpful. I get this question a lot. What is a fractional CMO? And so let me know if you have any questions in the replay or if you have any questions in the comments. I'm happy to answer anything for you so that you can understand fully what a fractional CMO does, how they can help your business, and whether it's right for your business. Because there is a time when you want to bring in executive leadership, right? Like, it's not when you're just starting out your business and you're just like, I hate marketing and I don't want to do this, right? Like, you want to bring someone in when you are like, I'm ready to scale. And so I need to make the investment that it requires to take my business to the next level. So DM me the word CMO. Let's talk about it. I hope that y'all have a great evening, and I will see you on the next live. Thank you so much for listening to the Roadmap to 1 Million podcast. I just know you got a nugget or two from that episode that will take your brand to the next level if you take action. Keyword, take action. So head over to stacyzeal.co/checklist to get a free resource that will help you to take action on what you learned today so that you can get on to building the brand of your dreams. And be sure to leave us a review so businesses like yours can get this gold as well. All right, y'all. I'll see you on the next episode.